In a small, quaint town nestled between dense woods, there stood an old Victorian house with an unsettling reputation. The locals spoke in hushed tones about the place, claiming it harbored a darkness that transcended the creaking floorboards and faded wallpaper. The Forrester house, as it was known, sat in eerie silence, waiting for unsuspecting souls to step into its shadowed embrace. The Forrester house found new inhabitants in the Turner family. Sarah, a widowed mother, and her 6-year-old daughter, Emily, sought solace in the old Victorian after the tragic loss of Sarah's husband. The town, aware of the house's history, reluctantly welcomed the newcomers, their eyes following the pair as they cautiously entered the silent abode. As night fell, a palpable unease settled over the Forrester house. The walls seemed to whisper secrets of the past, and shadows danced in the corners of the rooms. Emily, oblivious to the ominous atmosphere, explored the nooks and crannies, her innocent laughter echoing through the empty halls. The house, it seemed, responded to her presence with an unsettling stillness, as if holding its breath. In the days that followed, Emily spoke of an unseen playmate, Lily. Sarah dismissed it as a child's imagination, seeking companionship in a new and unfamiliar place. However, the peculiar occurrences could not be ignored. Toys moving on their own, faint giggles echoing in empty rooms, and the unsettling feeling of being watched. Sarah, torn between rationality and a mother's intuition, tried to reassure herself that the house's reputation was merely a local legend. One night, as the moon cast an ethereal glow through the dusty windows, Emily insisted on hosting a tea party for Lily. Sarah, indulging her daughter's imagination, played along, arranging an empty tea set on the dusty living room floor. The air thickened with an unseen presence, and the temperature dropped as the room transformed into an eerie tableau. Sarah's attempts to dismiss the mounting unease were shattered when the teacups rattled on their own, and a spectral giggle resonated through the air. In the attic, Emily discovered an old dollhouse, forgotten and dusty. Its miniature rooms mirrored the Forrester house in uncanny detail. Intrigued, Emily played for hours, arranging the tiny furniture and imagining the lives of the miniature inhabitants. Unbeknownst to Sarah, the dollhouse seemed to hold a mysterious connection to the house itself, as if bridging the gap between the tangible and the ethereal. As the days turned into weeks, the Forrester house revealed its darker nature. Shadows lengthened into grotesque shapes, and whispers escalated into faint cries that only Emily seemed attuned to. Sarah, her own unease growing, tried to maintain a semblance of normalcy, but the house's grip tightened, and the boundaries between reality and the supernatural blurred. One evening, Sarah caught a glimpse of a fractured reflection in the antique mirror. Distorted faces and twisted figures stared back at her, their eyes filled with sorrow and longing. The air became heavy with a sorrowful lament that seemed to emanate from the very walls of the Forrester house. Sarah, unable to shake the feeling of being a guest in her own home, began to question the wisdom of seeking refuge in a place so steeped in unsettling history. As the clock struck midnight, a haunting lullaby drifted through the house. Sarah rushed to Emily's room, only to find her peacefully asleep. The source of the spectral melody remained elusive, and Sarah, now consumed by a growing dread, struggled to maintain composure. The Forrester house, it seemed, had awakened a malevolent force that sought solace through the innocent soul of a child. In the dead of night, Sarah was drawn to the attic by an unseen force. The dollhouse, once forgotten, now commanded her attention. The miniature rooms mirrored the Forrester house in an unsettling display of supernatural mimicry. A voice, neither malevolent nor benevolent, whispered demands into Sarah's consciousness. The house hungered for acknowledgement, for the recognition of the tragedy that had unfolded within its walls. Haunted by the demands of the house, Sarah delved into the town archives, desperate to uncover the forgotten tragedy that bound the Forrester house to its malevolent fate. The townsfolk, reluctant to discuss the house's history, reluctantly revealed fragments of a dark tale involving a family torn apart, by secrets, betrayal, and a tragic loss that left the Forrester house cursed for generations. As Sarah unraveled the threads of the past, the Forrester house seemed to awaken, replaying the tragic events that had stained its walls with sorrow. Ghostly apparitions moved through the rooms, reenacting scenes of anguish and despair. Sarah, now a reluctant witness to the spectral drama, could feel the weight of the past pressing down upon her, demanding acknowledgement, and perhaps a chance at redemption. In the attic, Sarah discovered an old journal hidden beneath dusty crates. The journal belonged to Lily, a young girl from the 19th century who had once lived in the Forrester house. The entries chronicled a life marred by tragedy, the loss of parents, a forbidden love, and an untimely death that left Lily's spirit bound to the house, yearning for a connection with the living. Lily's journal revealed a chilling truth. A ritual gone awry had trapped her spirit within the Forrester house, forging an unholy bond between the living and the dead. The spectral playmate Emily spoke of was none other than Lily, a restless soul seeking solace through the companionship of the living. The demands Sarah had sensed were Lily's desperate attempts to break free from the curse that bound her to the house. Determined to free both Lily and her daughter from the malevolent grasp of the Forrester house, Sarah, armed with newfound knowledge, conducted a midnight seance. The living and the dead converged as Sarah, Emily, and the ghostly apparitions gathered in the living room. The air crackled with supernatural energy as Sarah, guided by the words of Lily's journal, sought to unravel the curse that held them all captive. In the midst of the seance, the threads of fate became tangled. Lily's sorrowful spirit, Emily's innocent presence, and the lingering tragedy of the Forrester house converged in a symphony of spectral energy. The boundaries between the living and the dead blurred, and the house itself seemed to groan under the weight of its malevolent history. As the clock struck midnight, an otherworldly force surged through the Forrester house. Chains that bound Lily's spirit shattered, and the spectral reenactments ceased. The atmosphere, once oppressive, lifted, and a profound stillness settled over the old Victorian. The house, it seemed, had finally relinquished its hold on the living and the dead. In the aftermath of the seance, the Forrester house transformed. No longer a malevolent entity, it stood as a witness to the echoes of redemption that had unfolded within its walls. Lily's spirit, freed from the shackles of the cursed ritual, found solace in the arms of the ethereal realm. Emily, now aware of the spectral playmate's tragic history, felt an inexplicable connection to the house that had become a vessel for both sorrow and redemption. With Lily's spirit at peace, the wounds that had scarred the Forrester house began to heal. The shadows retreated, and the spectral whispers softened into a gentle breeze. Sarah, Emily, and the house itself emerged from the ethereal journey forever changed. The town, witnessing the transformation, could sense the weight of the old Victorian's history lifting, as if a chapter of darkness had finally yielded to the dawn of a new understanding. As the days turned into weeks, a deceptive calm settled over the Forrester house. The once ethereal presence of Lily lingered, leaving behind a faint trace of melancholy in the air. Shadows, though subdued, still danced in the corners of the rooms, a reminder that the supernatural had left an indelible mark on the Victorian dwelling. Sarah, Emily, and the townsfolk, despite the newfound understanding, couldn't shake the feeling that the house held secrets yet unrevealed. One rainy afternoon, Emily discovered an old chest in the attic, hidden beneath moth-eaten blankets and forgotten relics. As she opened the creaking lid, a spectral glow emanated from within. The artifact, a weathered family heirloom, seemed to pulsate with ethereal energy. Sarah, recognizing the heirloom from Lily's journal, realized it held the key to fully breaking the shackles of the cursed ritual that had bound the Forrester house for generations. Sarah, guided by the residual energy of the artifact, embarked on a journey to unravel the remaining ethereal threads that clung to the Forrester house. The townsfolk, sensing a shift in the supernatural currents, watched as Sarah delved into the hidden recesses of the old Victorian, determined to confront the lingering shadows and ensure that the newfound peace within the Forrester house remained unmarred. As midnight approached, the Forrester house seemed to awaken once more. Shadows thickened, and the air crackled with ethereal energy. Sarah, standing in the heart of the living room, held the artifact aloft. A spectral wind whispered through the halls, carrying with it the echoes of long-forgotten sorrow. The artifact, a conduit to the ethereal realm, invited the remnants of the cursed ritual to reveal themselves and be cast into the abyss. The remnants of the cursed ritual resisted the ethereal unraveling. Spectral apparitions materialized, their faces etched with grief and defiance. The Forrester house groaned under the strain of the supernatural forces at play. Sarah, steadfast in her determination, called upon the townsfolk for support. Together, they formed a circle around the artifact, a barrier against the ethereal resistance that sought to maintain its grasp on the Victorian dwelling. In a climactic surge of ethereal energy, the artifact absorbed the remnants of the cursed ritual. The Forrester house trembled as the shadows recoiled, and a blinding light enveloped the living room. The townsfolk, united in purpose, felt the weight of the supernatural resistance dissipate. As the clock struck midnight, the artifact, now free of its malevolent burden, pulsed with a serene glow. The Forrester house stood silent, its once haunted halls now cleansed of the lingering curse. With the breaking of the curse, a renewed peace settled over the Forrester house. Shadows retreated into oblivion, and the walls ceased their whispers. Sarah, Emily, and the townsfolk felt the tangible shift in the atmosphere, a transformation that marked the conclusion of the ethereal unraveling. The Victorian dwelling, now free from the shackles of its cursed history, stood as a beacon of resilience and redemption. In the days that followed, the Forrester house underwent a metamorphosis. The faded wallpaper regained its luster, and the floorboards ceased their ominous creaking. The artifact, now a symbol of triumph over the supernatural, found a place of honor in the living room. Sarah and Emily, their bond strengthened by the shared journey, embraced the newfound tranquility that enveloped their once uncertain abode. Despite the renewed peace that settled over the Forrester house, lingering echoes of the ethereal journey persisted. Sarah, Emily, and the townsfolk couldn't escape the feeling that the supernatural currents had merely retreated, biding their time in the unseen corners of the Victorian dwelling. Whispers in the wind hinted at a residual presence, a spectral residue that clung to the very essence of the transformed abode. As the days passed, Sarah delved deeper into the history of the Forrester house, seeking to unveil any remaining secrets that might linger within its walls. Old photographs, hidden compartments, and forgotten letters revealed fragments of untold stories. Tales of forbidden love, family feuds, and the tragic events that had intertwined the fates of the living and the dead. The newfound revelations hinted at a complex tapestry of supernatural entanglements that transcended generations. One stormy night, the Forrester house underwent an unexpected transformation. The ethereal currents, once thought to be vanquished, surged back with renewed vigor. Shadows thickened, and spectral whispers crescendoed in a haunting symphony. Sarah, Emily, and the townsfolk, now attuned to the supernatural rhythms, felt the unsettling resurgence of ethereal forces that defied the boundaries of time and space. In the heart of the ethereal resurgence, Emily began experiencing spectral visions that transcended the confines of the present. Images of bygone eras flashed before her eyes. The Victorian era, the Roaring Twenties, and a spectral figure that seemed to bridge the gap between the living and the dead. Sarah, alarmed by her daughter's cryptic visions, sought the guidance of the townsfolk, hoping to decipher the enigmatic messages that Emily seemed destined to convey. The townsfolk, with their collective knowledge of the Forrester house's history, uncovered a startling revelation. The spectral visions that Emily experienced unveiled a tapestry of time-entwined threads, connecting the supernatural forces of the past to the present. The Victorian dwelling, it seemed, harbored not only the echoes of its own history, but also the residual energy of ethereal events that transcended the linear constraints of time. As the ethereal resurgence intensified, The spirits of the Forrester house's past converged in a spectral gathering that defied the laws of the mortal realm. Lily, the tragic figure from the 19th century, stood alongside apparitions from various eras, their faces etched with the weight of untold stories. The Forrester house, now a conduit for the convergence of spirits, became a focal point for the town's journey through the ethereal dimensions. Through the spectral convergence, the spirits communicated a sense of unfinished business that transcended the bounds of their individual tragedies. The Forrester house, it appeared, held the key to resolving the unresolved conflicts that bound the spectral entities to the mortal realm. Sarah, guided by the interconnected threads of time and ethereal energy, embarked on a quest to uncover the lingering mysteries that veiled the spirits in perpetual unrest. Sarah, accompanied by Emily and the townsfolk, embarked on an ethereal quest that transcended the confines of the Forrester house. Guided by the spectral visions and the intertwined threads of time, they ventured into the heart of the supernatural forces that lingered in the town's history. The ethereal quest unfolded as a journey through forgotten eras, revealing the untold stories and unresolved conflicts that had left a spectral imprint on the living and the dead. As the ethereal quest reached its zenith, Sarah and the townsfolk confronted the unresolved conflicts that bound the spirits to the mortal realm. Forbidden love, familial betrayals, and long-buried secrets emerged from the shadows, demanding acknowledgement and resolution. The Forrester house, serving as the nexus of the spectral convergence, bore witness to the ethereal resolution that unfolded in a transcendent dance of spirits and emotions. With the acknowledgement of the unresolved conflicts, the ethereal currents began to shift. The spirits, their faces now marked with expressions of release and peace, dissipated into the unseen dimensions. The Forrester house, once again bathed in a serene glow, stood as a witness to the transformative power of spectral resolution. The shadows that had thickened during the ethereal resurgence now retreated, leaving behind a renewed sense of tranquility. As the town emerged from the ethereal quest, a timeless legacy unfolded. The Forrester house, though forever marked by its supernatural history, stood as a testament to the resilience of the living and the redemption of the departed. The intertwined threads of time, once entangled in spectral conflicts, now wove a tapestry of understanding and closure. Sarah, Emily, and the townsfolk, forever changed by the ethereal journey, embraced the timeless legacy that would linger in the quiet corners and faded wallpaper of the Victorian dwelling. Amelia received an unexpected letter, an invitation to the long-forgotten Hawthorne Manor. The sender was anonymous, but the words hinted at a sinister history. The letter compelled her to explore the depths of the allegedly haunted house. As the moon cast an eerie glow, Amelia hesitated at the mansion's entrance, sensing a foreboding presence. The moment Amelia stepped into Hawthorne Manor, shadows seemed to whisper secrets of the past. Flickering candlelight played tricks on her senses, and the air became dense with an otherworldly energy. The grandeur of the mansion belied the dark tales that clung to its walls. The haunting echoes of footsteps from unseen specters reverberated through the halls, leaving Amelia unnerved. Amelia discovered an old diary in the dilapidated library, its pages filled with the confessions of a former resident, Emily Hawthorne. The chilling entries spoke of mysterious happenings, ghostly apparitions, and a curse that had plagued the manor for generations. A haunting realization dawned on Amelia. She was now entwined in the dark tapestry of Hawthorne Manor's tormented history. As Amelia explored further, the portraits lining the walls seemed to watch her every move. The eyes in the paintings followed her, and sinister smiles seemed to stretch across the canvas. The haunting gaze of the portraits intensified as if the spirits trapped within sought to convey their anguish. Amelia couldn't shake the feeling that the malevolent eyes were a window into the supernatural heart of the house. Each night, phantom footsteps echoed through the empty corridors. Amelia, alone in the vast mansion, felt a growing unease. The haunting sound of footsteps followed her, becoming a spectral companion in the oppressive silence. Shadows danced along the walls, and the air grew colder, marking the relentless advance of unseen entities. Desperate for answers, Amelia enlisted the help of a paranormal investigator to conduct a seance. The room grew icy cold as they attempted to communicate with the spirits. The haunting wails and ghostly whispers filled the air, revealing tales of betrayal and tragedy. The investigator, shaken by the spectral energy, warned Amelia of the malevolent force that lurked within the confines of Hawthorne Manor. As the seance unfolded, a demonic presence made itself known. The temperature plummeted, and a guttural voice echoed through the room. Shadows coalesced into sinister figures that seemed to taunt and torment. The haunting energy grew stronger, revealing the malevolent force that had ensnared the souls within Hawthorne Manor. Amelia, caught in the crossfire, felt the weight of an otherworldly malevolence pressing upon her. Apparitions materialized in every corner of the manor. Ominous figures moved in the periphery of Amelia's vision, their ghostly forms emitting a haunting glow. Their mournful cries echoed through the halls as they beckoned her to unveil the truth. Hawthorne Manor, once a stately residence, now harbored a legion of tormented souls, each with a tale of horror to share. Amelia delved into the manor's history, uncovering a curse that had plagued the Hawthorne family for centuries. Dark rituals, forbidden pacts, and unspeakable deeds were etched into the mansion's very foundation. The haunting specters, bound by the curse, sought redemption and release from their eternal torment. Amelia, now entangled in the malevolent web of the curse, became the key to breaking the chains that held the spirits captive. Amelia discovered a hidden chamber, concealed behind a tapestry in the darkest recesses of the manor. The air in the room felt charged with an ominous energy. The haunting whispers intensified as she approached an ancient altar adorned with symbols of a forbidden ritual. The spirits, desperate for salvation, guided her towards a revelation that would unravel the curse's sinister origins. The spirits implored Amelia to perform a maleficent ritual that would sever the curse's hold on the manor. Reluctantly, she gathered the necessary artifacts. Guided by the haunting apparitions, the atmosphere grew tense as the ritual commenced, unleashing a maelstrom of supernatural energies that engulfed Hawthorne Manor in an ethereal tempest. As the ritual unfolded, the mansion trembled with an otherworldly force. Spectral entities emerged from the shadows, their haunting cries now infused with a sense of liberation. The malevolent force that had ensnared the manor for centuries began to dissipate. The haunting echoes of tormented souls transformed into ethereal whispers of gratitude. Amelia, drained from the ritual, witnessed the spirits' haunting redemption. The once malevolent apparitions now glowed with a celestial light as they ascended, finally freed from the shackles of the curse. The air in Hawthorne Manor shifted, and the haunting energy that permeated the halls began to subside. The mansion, no longer a prison of the supernatural, embraced a newfound tranquility. Despite the spectral exodus, the manor retained a subtle air of unease. Shadows seemed to linger, as if reluctant to completely release their hold on the mortal realm. The haunting whispers, now more akin to sorrowful sighs, echoed through the corridors. Amelia, having witnessed the haunting redemption, couldn't shake the feeling that some shadows still clung to the mansion's darkened corners. As Amelia contemplated the events that unfolded within Hawthorne Manor, a lingering mystery remained. The haunting echoes of the curse had dissipated, but the mansion retained an aura of enigma. The diabolic secrets buried within its walls hinted at a history that transcended the spectral redemption. Amelia, haunted by the lingering mystery, knew that the malevolent force that had ensnared the manor might not have revealed all its dark secrets. Months passed, and a midnight resurgence stirred within Hawthorne Manor. Amelia, drawn by an unseen force, returned to the mansion as the haunting whispers beckoned her once more. The air grew thick with anticipation, and the echoes of the past seemed to awaken from their dormant slumber. The haunting legacy of the manor proved resilient, and the ominous shadows hinted at a tale far from concluded. The enigmatic chamber, where Amelia had performed the maleficent ritual, called out to her with a haunting odor. The symbols etched on the ancient altar seemed to shimmer in the dim light, revealing a spectral energy that pulsed with an undying essence. The lingering mystery now echoed within the walls, and the manor itself seemed to yearn for a resolution to the unresolved secrets that clung to its haunted corridors. As midnight fell, the ghostly reawakening intensified. Shadows danced with renewed vigor, and the air crackled with an energy that transcended the mortal realm. Amelia, driven by an insatiable curiosity, embarked on a journey into the heart of the manor's haunting past. The lingering shadows, once subtle, now seemed to gather with a spectral purpose, guiding her towards an undisclosed revelation. Amelia delved deeper into the history of the Hawthorne family, unearthing whispers of betrayal that echoed through generations. The malevolent force, fueled by ancient grievances, began to manifest in the form of ghostly apparitions. The haunting cries told tales of treachery, deceit, and a malefic pact that bound the family to the supernatural forces that lurked within the mansion. The revelation of a cursed bloodline weighed heavily on Amelia. The malevolent force, insatiable in its hunger for retribution, sought to perpetuate the cycle of suffering within the Hawthorne family. The haunting legacy, now entwined with a curse that transcended the boundaries of time, demanded a resolution that would lay bare the family's darkest secrets. Amelia uncovered a sinister pact that had sealed the Hawthorne family's fate. An ancestor, desperate for power, had forged a malevolent alliance with supernatural entities. The haunting whispers spoke of an unholy covenant that ensnared the family in a web of malefic consequences. The spectral figures within the manor, once victims, now seemed to condemn the living to a perpetual night of haunting. The ghostly figures within Hawthorne Manor, fueled by centuries of resentment, accused Amelia of being the key to breaking the cursed bloodline. The haunting accusations reverberated through the walls, and the spectral entities seemed to intensify their ethereal presence. The air crackled with the malevolent energy that sought to bind her fate to the unresolved legacy of the mansion. Amelia, torn between the haunting accusations and her quest for resolution, confronted the malevolent force within the enigmatic chamber. The haunting whispers crescendoed into anguished wails as the ancient altar pulsated with supernatural energy. Shadows, now more sinister than ever, coalesced around her, creating an otherworldly tableau of spectral fury. In a surge of supernatural energy, the unholy ritual that had once been performed surged to life once more. The haunting symbols glowed with an eerie luminosity, and the air became charged with an unseen force. The ghostly figures, trapped between realms, seemed to merge with the ritual's resurgence, forming a spectral vortex that threatened to consume the very essence of the cursed bloodline. Amelia, desperate to break the malevolent cycle, entered into a desperate bargain with the spectral entities. The haunting figures, their ethereal forms flickering with an otherworldly radiance, presented her with a choice: to embrace the cursed legacy or to sacrifice herself to sever the malefic pact. The air in the chamber thickened with anticipation as the haunting forces awaited Amelia's fateful decision. As midnight reached its zenith, Amelia made the harrowing decision to become the sacrifice needed to break the curse. The haunting figures, their ghostly forms imbued with an ethereal brilliance, bore witness to the sacrificial reckoning. The air resonated with a haunting chorus, and the ancient altar absorbed the supernatural energy, unraveling the cursed bloodline that had plagued the Hawthorne family for centuries. With the sacrificial reckoning complete, an ethereal respite descended upon Hawthorne Manor. The haunting whispers transformed into a soothing melody, and the shadows that had once danced with malevolence now embraced a tranquility. The lingering mystery, once an enigmatic force, seemed to dissipate, leaving the manor in a spectral repose that hinted at a newfound harmony. The ghostly figures, once trapped in the malevolent pact, ascended in a spectral redemption. Their haunting cries transformed into ethereal whispers of gratitude as they vanished into the celestial expanse. The air within Hawthorne Manor, no longer fraught with the weight of centuries-old grievances, embraced a spectral serenity that echoed the redemptive journey of both the living and the departed. As the spectral redemption unfolded, the cursed tapestry that had entwined the Hawthorne family's history unraveled. Threads of malevolence, betrayal, and suffering dissipated, leaving behind a luminous tapestry of resilience and redemption. The haunting legacy, once a curse that bound the living and the departed, now stood as a testament to the transformative power of sacrifice and forgiveness. Amelia, having witnessed the haunting redemption and the unraveling of the cursed tapestry, experienced a haunting epiphany. The enigmatic forces that had once tormented Hawthorne Manor now revealed a profound truth, that the boundaries between the living and the spectral were permeable, and that the haunting journey had forged an indelible connection between the mortal and the ethereal. The ephemeral bond between Amelia and the spectral forces endured, transcending the boundaries of the mortal realm. The haunting echoes that lingered within the manor now whispered tales of gratitude and solace. The once malevolent shadows, transformed by sacrifice, stood as guardians of the newfound harmony that enveloped Hawthorne Manor. In the wake of the spectral redemption, the specters that had haunted the manor began to vanish. Each ghostly figure, bathed in ethereal light, bid farewell with spectral smiles. The air within Hawthorne Manor lightened as the departed souls, liberated from the shackles of the curse, ascended into the celestial unknown. Amelia, having played a pivotal role in the haunted saga, found herself in the tranquil aftermath of the spectral redemption. The manor, once a place of malevolent energy, now exuded a serene atmosphere. The haunting whispers that had tormented its halls had transformed into a melodic murmuring, carrying tales of liberation and redemption. Despite the tranquility that settled over Hawthorne Manor, a lingering connection persisted between Amelia and the spectral forces. The haunting figures, now guardians of the spectral realm, watched over the living with benevolent gazes. The air hummed with a harmonious resonance, marking the coexistence of the mortal and the ethereal in a delicate balance. Amelia, driven by an insatiable curiosity, continued to explore the depths of the manor. Unveiled secrets, hidden within the walls, hinted at forgotten chapters of the Hawthorne family's history. The haunting whispers, now more akin to stories of resilience and forgiveness, guided her towards undiscovered truths that had remained obscured for centuries. The ghostly legacy of Hawthorne Manor, once shrouded in malevolence, now emerged as a testament to the transformative power of sacrifice. The spectral entities, once victims of an unholy pact, became custodians of the manor's newfound serenity. The haunting echoes of the past, no longer laden with anguish, transformed into a legacy that celebrated the redemptive journey of both the living and the departed. Amelia stumbled upon an ethereal archive within the manor, a repository of memories that transcended the mortal realm. Ghostly apparitions manifested as ethereal guardians of the archive, allowing Amelia to witness fragments of the past. The haunting archive, a tapestry of spectral recollections, painted a vivid portrait of the Hawthorne family's tumultuous history. Within the ethereal archive, echoes of forgiveness reverberated through time. The haunting whispers recounted moments of reconciliation, where long-held grievances were laid to rest. The air within Hawthorne Manor resonated with the redemptive power of forgiveness, intertwining the destinies of the living and the departed in a haunting symphony of spectral harmony. Amelia, guided by the echoes of forgiveness, crossed an enchanted threshold within the manor. The air shimmered with spectral energy, and the haunting whispers grew hushed as if in reverence. The threshold, a symbolic bridge between the mortal and the ethereal, beckoned her towards a revelation that would further intertwine her fate with the haunting legacy of Hawthorne Manor. As Amelia crossed the enchanted threshold, a haunting revelation unfolded. The spectral forces, now bound to her in an unspoken covenant, revealed that the connection forged through sacrifice had granted her the ability to commune with the ethereal. The air crackled with a newfound energy, marking the inception of a haunting journey that transcended the boundaries of the known and the unknown. Amelia, now attuned to the veil between realms, navigated the delicate balance that existed between the living and the spectral. The haunting whispers, once elusive, became a constant companion as she moved through the manor. The air seemed to ripple with ethereal currents, marking a symbiotic relationship that blurred the lines between the mortal and the ghostly. Guided by the ghostly figures, Amelia embarked on a journey to unveil the remaining secrets of Hawthorne Manor. The spectral guardians, their luminous forms flickering with ethereal radiance, illuminated hidden passages and concealed chambers. The haunting guidance led her towards a convergence of destinies, where the living and the departed shared a collective narrative woven into the very fabric of the manor's haunted existence. Amelia discovered an ethereal nexus within the heart of Hawthorne Manor. The haunting nexus, a convergence of supernatural energies, served as a focal point where the destinies of the living and the spectral intersected. The air pulsed with ethereal currents, and the ghostly figures, once trapped in the malevolent pact, gathered around the nexus with spectral anticipation. As Amelia stood within the ethereal nexus, a symbiotic resonance enveloped her. The haunting whispers transformed into a harmonious symphony that echoed through the manor's corridors. The air shimmered with an ethereal luminosity, marking a union between the living and the departed that transcended the boundaries of mortality. In the culmination of her journey, Amelia became a beacon between the mortal realm and the ethereal. The haunting legacy of Hawthorne Manor, now intertwined with her own existence, extended into an eternal haunting that defied the constraints of time. The spectral forces, now guardians of the manor's haunting narrative, embraced a timeless existence where the living and the departed shared an undying connection in the ever-shifting tapestry of Hawthorne Manor's haunted history. In the quiet town of Ravenscroft, nestled between dense woods and rolling hills, a legend whispered among the locals about a phantom driver who roamed the winding roads after midnight. The tale spoke of an otherworldly presence behind the wheel of an ancient black sedan, appearing out of the shadows to terrorize unsuspecting travelers. As a group of friends embarked on a road trip through Ravenscroft, they unknowingly ventured into the realm of the phantom driver, setting the stage for a nightmarish journey into the unknown. The road stretched endlessly through the darkened countryside as the friends, unaware of the legend, cruised along in their car, laughter filling the night air. The moon cast an eerie glow on the asphalt, and the trees lining the road seemed to reach out with twisted branches, casting haunting shadows that danced with every gust of wind. As the clock neared midnight, the friends found themselves on a desolate stretch of road, surrounded by dense woods on either side. An unspoken tension settled in the car, and a strange stillness hung in the air, as if the very atmosphere were holding its breath in anticipation. Suddenly, the headlights flickered, casting the road into momentary darkness. Nervous laughter erupted among the friends as they dismissed it as a mere glitch. However, an uneasy feeling lingered, and the air inside the car seemed to thicken with an unspoken fear. In the distance, a pair of dim headlights appeared, barely visible through the veil of night. The friends exchanged curious glances as the mysterious vehicle approached from behind. The black sedan, ancient and imposing, emerged from the shadows, its headlights cutting through the darkness with an unnatural intensity. The phantom driver, obscured by the dim glow of the sedan's interior, seemed to materialize out of thin air. The friends, now gripped by a sense of foreboding, watched in silent horror as the spectral figure behind the wheel turned to look at them with eyes that gleamed with an otherworldly light. The friends, unable to shake the feeling of being watched, quickened their pace. The road ahead seemed to stretch indefinitely, the trees closing in around them like silent witnesses to the nightmarish encounter. The phantom driver, however, matched their speed, an unseen force tethering the two vehicles in an otherworldly dance. Desperation set in as the friends attempted to outrun the phantom driver. The sedan, relentless in its pursuit, closed the gap with an eerie determination. The air resonated with a haunting melody, as if the very essence of the road had become a stage for a supernatural confrontation. As the friends rounded a bend, the road ahead seemed to distort, twisting into an otherworldly labyrinth. Panic set in as the surroundings became increasingly surreal, the very fabric of reality warping under the influence of the phantom driver's malevolent presence. The Satan, now a spectral force, appeared on the road ahead, blocking any escape. The friends, trapped in a nightmarish loop, felt the air crackle with an unseen energy. The trees, once mere spectators, seemed to contort and writhe with a malevolence that mirrored the phantom driver's relentless pursuit. In a desperate attempt to break free, the friends took a sharp turn onto a narrow gravel path that led deeper into the woods. The phantom driver, undeterred by the change in terrain, followed with an unnatural agility, its headlights piercing through the dense foliage like malevolent eyes. The woods, now a twisted maze of shadows, seemed to close in around the friends. Every rustle of leaves and snap of twigs became an ominous whisper, and the friends could feel the phantom driver's presence like a cold breath on the back of their necks. As the gravel path twisted and turned, the friends found themselves disoriented, the night swallowing them into an unsettling silence. The Satan, a ghostly apparition, continued to pursue them through the maze of trees, its headlights casting an otherworldly glow that revealed glimpses of a reality beyond the known. In the heart of the woods, the friends stumbled upon an ancient, abandoned mansion that loomed in the moonlight. The air, thick with the scent of decay, seemed to echo with the phantom driver's haunting laughter. The mansion, an eerie beacon in the night, offered a fleeting sanctuary from the relentless pursuit. The friends, desperate for refuge, entered the mansion's decaying interior. The air inside was heavy with the weight of forgotten memories, and the floorboards creaked with an unsettling rhythm. The windows rattled with an otherworldly force, as if the mansion itself harbored secrets that whispered tales of supernatural horrors. In the mansion's dimly lit halls, the friends discovered a room filled with old photographs and newspaper clippings. The headlines spoke of a tragic accident that had claimed the lives of the phantom driver and their passengers on the very road the friends had traveled. The photographs, faded with time, revealed faces twisted in agony, their eyes mirroring the malevolence that had claimed them. A realization struck the friends. The phantom driver was not merely a vengeful spirit, but a tormented soul bound to the road by a tragic fate. The malevolent force that pursued them was a manifestation of the driver's unresolved anguish, forever condemned to roam the night in search of solace. As the friends contemplated the haunted history of the phantom driver, the mansion seemed to come alive with a spectral energy. Whispers echoed through the halls, telling tales of the accident that had condemned the driver to an eternity of torment. The friends, now intertwined with the supernatural, felt the weight of the phantom driver's sorrow. A sudden chill enveloped the mansion, and the air grew thick with an unseen force. The friends, now connected to the phantom driver's tragic tale, realized that the only way to break the cycle was to confront the malevolent spirit and offer it the peace it had long been denied. Leaving the safety of the mansion, the friends returned to the road where the phantom driver waited. The black Satan, now a spectral presence, hovered in the moonlit night. The friends, guided by a newfound understanding, approached the vehicle with a mixture of fear and empathy. As the friends stood before the phantom driver, the air crackled with an otherworldly energy. The driver's eyes, once filled with malevolence, now reflected a profound sadness. The friends, compelled by an unseen force, spoke words of compassion and understanding, acknowledging the driver's pain and offering a path to redemption. In the moment of connection, the phantom driver's form wavered, and the air shimmered with a spectral light. The haunting melody that had accompanied the night now transformed into a mournful lament, echoing through the woods as if carried by the whispers of long-forgotten souls. The friends, bound by a shared experience with the phantom driver, felt a profound shift in the atmosphere. The malevolent force that had pursued them dissipated, leaving behind a sense of closure that hung in the night air. The Satan, now a fading specter, merged with the moonlit shadows and disappeared into the night. The road, once a twisted labyrinth, straightened before the friends' eyes. The woods, no longer oppressive, seemed to exhale a sigh of relief as the supernatural influence lifted. The friends, forever changed by the night's harrowing journey, walked the road with a newfound reverence for the thin veil between the living and the supernatural. As the first light of dawn painted the sky, the friends emerged from the woods, the mansion now a distant silhouette against the horizon. Ravenscroft, once a town steeped in ghostly whispers, awoke to a new day. The legend of the Phantom Driver, now a tale of redemption, became woven into the fabric of Ravenscroft's haunted history. News of the friends' encounter with the Phantom Driver spread through the town, transforming the legend into a story of compassion and understanding. Locals, once wary of the haunted roads, now spoke of the supernatural journey that had reshaped the very fabric of the town's eerie reputation. The road through Ravenscroft, no longer haunted by the Phantom Driver's malevolence, became a path of introspection and redemption. Travelers passing through the town felt a subtle shift in the atmosphere, as if the very essence of the road had absorbed the friends' encounter and transformed it into a beacon of hope. Years passed, and the friends, now bound by a shared secret, carried the memory of their encounter with the Phantom Driver. Ravenscroft, once a town shrouded in supernatural mysteries, embraced its haunted history as a testament to the thin line between the living and the unseen. One stormy night, a group of curious individuals, drawn by the legend of the Phantom Driver, decided to venture into Ravenscroft. Unaware of the town's newfound redemption, they embarked on a journey through the winding roads, their headlights cutting through the night with an eager anticipation. As the group approached the haunted stretch of road, a subtle change in the atmosphere signaled a transformation. The woods, once a realm of shadows and whispers, seemed to welcome the travelers with a newfound serenity. The legend of the Phantom Driver, now a tale of redemption, awaited the next chapter in Ravenscroft's haunting history. And so, the town of Ravenscroft stood as a testament to the delicate dance between the living and the supernatural. The legend of the Phantom Driver, once a malevolent force, had been transformed into a story of compassion and understanding, echoing through the haunted roads as a reminder that even in the darkest tales, redemption could be found. The road through Ravenscroft, now illuminated by the first light of dawn, glistened with a dewy calmness. The group of travelers, initially bracing themselves for a night of terror, found solace in the serene atmosphere that enveloped the town. The legend of the Phantom Driver, once a source of fear, had become a guiding light for those who dared to traverse its haunted paths. As the travelers delved deeper into Ravenscroft, they encountered locals who shared stories of redemption and the transformative power of empathy. The town, once overshadowed by the spectral presence of the Phantom Driver, had embraced its haunted history as a source of collective strength and resilience. The friends, forever changed by their encounter with the supernatural, became unofficial guardians of Ravenscroft's haunted legacy. They guided curious travelers through the town, sharing the tale of the Phantom Driver's redemption as a testament to the town's ability to transcend its eerie reputation. News of Ravenscroft's transformation spread beyond its borders, drawing visitors from far and wide. The town, once shrouded in a spectral gloom, now stood as a beacon of hope, showcasing the resilience of both the living and the supernatural. The legend of the Phantom Driver became a parable of redemption that resonated with those seeking solace in the unknown. And so, Ravenscroft's haunted roads continued to weave a tapestry of eerie tales, but the legend of the Phantom Driver had evolved into a story of redemption and understanding. Travelers, guided by the town's newfound reputation, ventured into Ravenscroft, not in search of terror, but with a curiosity fueled by the possibility of transcending the boundaries between the living and the unseen. The Phantom Driver, once a malevolent force, had become a spectral guardian, watching over the town and ensuring that its haunted history served as a reminder that even in the darkest of legends, there could be a glimmer of light.